Welcome back, Tutorial Watcher. This is part 2 of our 11/11 reading. And so we're going to jump right into it just because we don't have a lot of time, and I guess I might have been rambling a little, but anyways. Nice. We have Ace of Air. Cutting through the bullshit. Alright? This is a communication card. Top notch. We are in the throes of Mercury Retrograde, and it's all about miscommunication right now. I challenge us, everyone, to focus on acing our communication. Like, really thinking before we speak. Definitely thinking before we act, but thinking before we speak. Like, looking 5 times instead of 3 at that corner when you're about to turn. I got in a car accident a while back, and it was on a Mercury retrograde, and I only looked 3 times. So during Mercury retrograde, I'm much more cautious with my words. And even then, you can just say one thing, and it throws everything out. So focus on Ace of Air, Ace of Communication, really. And the swords, you know, that's what swords are. Air sword. For those who don't know tarot very well, you know, this is part of the tarot suit. So we wanted it to be easy for people to understand who were just possibly learning tarot. I think we got this one before too. So, the Lovers. There are a lot of people entering and leaving relationships. I see a lot of breakups right now. But I also see these frivolous little love interests as well. So I caution everybody, like, really don't jump into anything right now. Even the post phase, which the 20th ends Mercury retrograde, but there's like a 3-week post phase. Be cautious during the post phase as well. So any, like, this is Aphrodite, Venus, you know, and we have the male, you know, supplicating himself to the female, and again, part of the divine feminine. We have all these powerful female, like, cards today. But again, I feel in my own divine power right now, feminine power as well. But I also feel the divine masculine. And so this is both. This is the time for the male to, I guess, allow themselves to be submerged in the divine feminine so that they can, you know, adjust to these energies, because it's been pretty intense. Today, Mercury passes between the sun and the moon, and all this grand stuff is going on in the multiverse, the universe, and in our world. So we need to pay attention to our relationships like this, you know. Or it doesn't matter if you are, you know, heterosexual. It's just between relationships between the opposite sex. It doesn't matter what, you know, you are interested in sexually. So I don't know if we did that one. Did we do that one? Well, we don't need to give too much information on. Everybody understands Aphrodite's role and Venus's role in history. So let's get one more card. It's all females today. I don't know what to say, folks. Although we did have a man on here, and we had Shiva, but he's being stepped on. And this guy's bowing. I don't know what's going on, people. I'm so sorry. All right. Do we know how to pronounce her name? Okay. This is the wife. Okay, mermaid talk. I understand Mervalian. We'll go into the starseed aspect. Mermaids are truly from Mervalia, which is a part of Pleiades. This was kind of like a vacation spot for the Pleiadians. And it was like, oh, imagine this grandiose water park, theme park with mermaids and merpeople and water sprites and like every type of watery being you could think of lived on this place. This is where they originated from. And the cedars may have even brought, you know, these things and water, the special water from this place for Earth. This would have been so long ago that we can't even think about how long ago it was. Very old race. This is the Mer people. Anyways, this is the Princess of Water, also the Princess of Cups. And so it's an emotional card. doesn't matter what gender you are right now, you are going through probably some type of emotional, either an emotional breakthrough or a crisis. And you may be surrounded by a lot of emotional people as well, especially in the workplace. And so like try very hard not to like suck it in from others that you work with. And like as an empath, this is like an empath card. And so for all the empaths that I work with or know, like be really kind to yourself right now and gentle with yourself. Like that's my advice. And I'm using traditional, we didn't obviously get that far, we're still working on the book, but Princess of Cups would be, I think it's a little different in here. We got Cups. There's King of Cups. Let's see, wouldn't it be Page? Mm-hmm. Traditional would be a melancholy and passionate youth, studious but given to fights of imagination, willing to render service to the querent. So whatever your question is about the emotional aspect of it. It has to do with maybe reminiscing, thinking back to your childhood, for some of us that are older. And for those that are you know, younger, really enjoying your youth right now. Life creeps by pretty fast. I'm not going to lie. And so that also reminds us to be feeling young again. And so I'm going to draw one more card in hopes that we draw something for the men here. Oh, how interesting. Well, this will give hope for all our Christian friends, right? So we changed the hangman to sacrifice, and we have Jesus or Yeshua, whichever you prefer. And this is about sacrifice, really, and making changes in our life. And like, what are we putting our energy into? What are we sacrificing ourselves for others? I mean, the only one who, in theory, who should have done that was this guy right here, for those of you that believe that. So, traditional hangman, we are still working on this one. I kind of, you know, I really wasn't sure what to write, and I'm not going to lie, because I don't want to offend anyone. So, for those of you who want to know starseed origin of Jesus, there's a lot of stuff on the internet about it. So you can go and run wild with it. But it's a great card. This is the Hangman. This is about choices and making better choices. And if it was, you know, diminished, it would be like this. And we haven't gotten to that part yet. But usually reversed, again, we're not going to be drawing any reversed for a while until it's in card format, or unless I decide to mix and mash them up a little bit. But hope for our men. You, the Hanged Man, many of you are in positions of feeling like the Hanged Man, though. I know a lot of men right now that are struggling with a lot of stuff. So that's where we're going to end this reading. And we had a lot of powerful females, but that's all reminders of the energy that's permeating the planet right now. The Me Too thing, the powerful women. There's a woman I've been following on Facebook, and maybe she'll watch this, but like I really, really respect this woman, and like how she just like rose from the ashes like true phoenix would, and like rebuilt herself after complete devastation of a project she was working on for quite some time. I actually had the same thing. My computer recently crashed and I thought I lost everything, but I did a Om Mane Padme Hum dance and just kept really calm, and everything worked out. And that's the key here, is not panicking and keeping yourself, I mean, let Lilith come in, let Lilith eat your panic, let Kali help you facilitate the next level of your life. Like, especially the females, more females will probably be watching this than men, so maybe that's why the cards were drawn the way they were. But think back to the other reading, the first reading I did. I mean, this is a great reading for Mercury Retrograde. And for many of us, it's turned out to be a lesson. Like, we're learning our lessons. We're actually learning them and finally figuring them out. Like, that's the height of all of this. But we need to be accountable. Like, I keep coming back to authenticity and accountability. and how you work with the two. And all of these ladies here are female goddess heads. That's what they're reminding us of. And holding our power and standing strong in it. We have to set examples for the young women that are growing right now, many of them, whether they're our children or grandchildren or just people in the community, young women in the community, young men too. It, really, they can harness Lilith power too if they need it. They just have to come at it a certain way. So people are getting more gentle with that passion rising in many of them. Their creative things are happening all over the place. Like, that's exciting. So I've been seeing that too, like this rise in creativity. So I want to end this, reading with a great thank you to the artist, Beatrice Cash. She's the lady behind everything and probably won't show her face, but that's okay. We just want to give her that shout out. And other people I know who work behind the scenes in projects, giving them all a shout out. Like, you have no idea how much you've helped me or just given advice. And I want to do the same for those, just like extending that hand, My videos aren't like super fantastic, but we're having fun with it. And that's really all that matters, that you have fun with what you're doing and you explore those creative realms. Anyways, 11/11, happy day.